a word every Christian should know?
Hang on for the loop.
That's 5 words.
Oh no, that's not the word. That's the opener.
Hang on for the loop.
4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
I'm Ricky.
I'm Jamie.
And we've got a bit of a puzzle on our hand. It's this beautiful frame puzzle.
It's missing some pieces.
Yeah, the Loop crew thought it would be really funny to hide the final missing puzzle pieces. And they should know that an unfinished puzzle really stresses me out.
They should know that.
Yeah, so we've got a puzzle hunt on our hand.
Okay, before we tear this place apart, check this out.
So there is a word that every Christian should know. And I'm sure you're probably already thinking okay, if you're a Christian, meaning that you love Jesus and you want to follow him with your entire life, there's a lot of really good words out there. Probably thinking grace, that's a good one. Love, joy, peace. Again, all of these are fantastic words. So this word is kind of like a Chipotle bowl. It's like if you had a little bit of grace, a little bit of peace on top, joy, just sprinkle all of it together. That's this word because it is underrated. I'm telling you, it is like Monsters University. That movie, nobody's talking about it. Mike Wazowski, you get to see little baby Mike.
Mike Wazowski.
There's a beautiful story arc in there, and no one's talking about it. Everyone's over here frozen this, frozen that. Before I tell you what the word is, we've got to look at these flowers. So this flower, look at it. Again, it's growing, it's thriving. This could be on a flower commercial. Another word you might use to describe it is flourishing. Now, flourishing isn't the word that we're talking about today, but I think it will help us understand when we get to that word that is really important. This word flourishing is so fun to say. When I say the word flourish, it sounds like there's an actual gush of water that is coming out. And isn't that beautiful? It's just this sense of man, they are thriving. Flourishing doesn't mean perfect. This flower is beautiful, but this flower is not perfect. So you're not perfect, bud. Flourishing, it's growing in a really noticeable way. And people can flourish too. So it's not just something for plants. This whole thing, I know. Get to the word, all right, lady. Okay, I'll get to the word. Flourishing is gonna help us understand it. And people can flourish too. It's kind of you ever have those people in class, when your teacher is hey, we're gonna read out loud. And if you're me, you're cool. I'm already rehearsing the paragraph that I'm gonna read because this kid's over here 2 lines in front of me, so I'm gonna be on this paragraph right here. They're the people reading just like it's the most natural thing in the world. Those people are flourishing. And again, if more people knew this word, more people would flourish. Now in contrast, see this flower again? This one on the other hand, not doing so hot. It's not flourishing. This flower looks like it is driving the struggle bus to Struggle City, where it is the struggle mayor. This one looks like it's on a sad pet commercial. So what is the word? The word is shalom. Isn't that an incredible word? Just say it, shalom. This word is a Hebrew word. It's often translated as peace, but it is so much more than that. This word is a sense of completeness or wholeness. It's this sense of everything being right in the world. If more people experienced shalom, more people would flourish. They'd be like this flower. They'd be walking through life. They wouldn't have all these anxious thoughts. They would be healthier. They would be growing and thriving. Shalom. It's this sense that everything is the way that it's supposed to be. And I can explain it, but it's kind of like Chick-fil-A sauce. Chick-fil-A sauce is kind of like if mayo and barbecue sauce got together on a group project. Hey, let's work together. Let's make a sauce. And that's what Chick-fil-A sauce is. It's tangy and tart. And you're okay. It's amazing. It's delicious. And I can sit here and tell you how amazing it is. Or you could just go try it for yourself. And shalom is kind of the same way. I can talk to you all day long about how amazing it is and how it will help you flourish. And our communities would look better if we had it. But until you actually experience it, you won't experience how amazing it truly actually is. Jesus knew the word shalom too. When Jesus was around, people would be shalom. And they would almost say it as a greeting of hello, how are you? Shalom. Jesus would bring shalom, and he also invites us to be part of it. One of my favorite examples where Jesus brings shalom is in John chapter 20. And what I love about this one is that John is just very honest. Like, I really like the way that he writes. He gives us all of these details that he doesn't have to, and it's really, really special. And so in this story, Jesus had been resurrected, and he starts appearing to people. So he shows up for Mary, he's with these guys on the road to Emmaus, he shows up for Peter, and then in this story, in John 20, he's with his friends. But John is telling us, like, the doors were locked tight. Like, John could have been like, yeah, you know, Jesus had just died. We're not freaked out at all. No, zero worries. But no, John is like, all of us were gathered together and the door was locked. I think John was just kind of setting up this like big reveal for Jesus of like, kind of like if you've seen a magician before and they like show you like, hey, do you see anything up my sleeve? And then that way, whenever they pull like a bird out or a scarf or whatever magicians do these days, you're like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. How did he do that? And so John is almost like setting up Jesus for this really fantastic moment. And as they're all gathered together, they're in this locked room, they would have been like in a really low moment. As we talk about shalom and we talked about flourishing, it might sound like, oh, everything has to be amazing all the time. But what if my life really doesn't feel like it's amazing right now? What about when you're in the middle of one of those low moments where you're just like, I don't know if shalom is possible. I keep hearing people talk about peace and love and Jesus, and I want to believe all of that, but my life doesn't tell me that I should. And the disciples totally understood that. I think sometimes we think about them and we put them on this pedestal of like, the disciples were amazing and they never had any questions. It's not true. They had so many questions. And so if you have questions, that's okay. And John wants to make sure that we know, like, they were scared too. And so when I think about that and I'm in the middle of my low moments and I'm wondering like, why is there trash in the ocean? Why are people just mean to each other? Why is all of this terrible stuff happen? The disciples would have been there too. They would have been in that room. And if I try to like imagine, like I'm with all my friends, I've been with Jesus for a couple of years, I really started to believe like he's the one who's gonna change everything. But here I am, things are not going well. What do I do in that moment? And I think in that moment, they would have wanted the same thing that we all want, which is just answers. Jesus, are you actually gonna bring shalom? Can you actually do this? In the middle of this low moment, and all of a sudden, Jesus appears to them. Like literally, it just says, Jesus appeared. Like we don't know what happened, but I have to imagine again with like the whole locked door situation and just like Jesus appeared. Like, can you imagine? Like it doesn't say like Jesus knocked on the door and he like walked on in. Like, no, he just appeared. Boom, there's Jesus. And what does he say in that moment? You already know. He says, Shalom. He says, peace be with you. I know you have all those questions. I know that you're not sure what's going on, but I'm here and I'm bringing shalom and you get to be part of that. Here's a really good thought for your low moments. Is that you don't have to feel all right to know that God made all things right. The bad news is though, we still live in a really busted world. Terrible things still happen. There's still trash in the ocean. Parents still split up, but God has a plan for all of that, and he can still bring shalom. And so when we know that, we get to experience the good news that God has a plan. And not only does he have this plan, but he actually allows us to be part of the plan. We get to bring shalom to the world.
Okay, how about in the money? Nope, not in the money. How about back here? Nope, not there. Oh my goodness, are they hidden really well? Surely.
I found one.
Okay, I'm going out to the green room. I'm gonna catch them all. All right, is there one in here? No? Okay, recording sign, come on. I gotta find one that Ricky doesn't find. How am I not seeing it?
There are 8 total puzzle pieces. Probably missing like a lot of very obvious ones.
Are you guys just joking?
Aha!
Okay, I noticed that these look a little cattywampus. Ha-ha! Found one. How many have you found?
3!
I found 1.
It's been going super great. Have you already searched in here? Or I guess on this.
Aha!
Whoa!
We gotta go back. I gotta at least find one more. You really tore this place apart.
I did.
Did you open the square? Ah, I found one, yay! I got
No
3.
way!
Anything in the, haha! So 1, 2, 3.
And so we have one more missing.
One more. Ricky, can you see the top shelf?
Nothing.
Jody, look in here.
No.
Is it in this area?
Thank you, Luke. If I were a puzzle piece, I'm gonna tilt it your way.
Okay, got it. Is it underneath there?
No.
Oh, how about under the table? Maybe we should step back.
Yeah.
On top of the set? Oh, I found it! Ha-ha! Yay! Thank you, Luke. We did it!
I'm furious.
That was clever.
Wow.
So we got some work to do to bring shalom. And I really love this prayer from this pastor named Henry Nouwen. This prayer, I think, has a lot of shalom in it. And so I'm going to read it to you. And it says, "Give me the courage to live and work for a new heaven and a new earth as Jesus did." It's kind of like what Jesus told us to pray. Like, pray that his kingdom would come on earth as it is in heaven. And then he says, "Give me the freedom to be critical where I see evil. Help me stand up for what's right. And offer praises where I see goodness. Say thank you. Look at the things God made and marvel at them. Most of all, make me faithful to the vision you have given me so that wherever I go and whomever I meet, I can be a sign of your all-renewing love." Isn't that beautiful? And so I love that because there's so much shalom in it. And so you might even wonder, like, has there ever even been shalom? Like, what does this actually look like? And there was shalom a long, long time ago. Like, we got to go way back, like further back, all the way back to the beginning of creation. And we're going to use this frame to illustrate shalom. So back in the Garden of Eden, there actually was shalom. Like, there was peace, there was goodness, and the sense of shalom is this sense of rightness in relationships. And so God made us with 4 key relationships to have. And so a relationship with God, so we'll pretend like this frame, top up here, relationship with God, this bottom here, relationship with creation, so the things that he made. This one over here, our relationship with ourselves, like what are we telling ourselves? How do we view ourselves? And then this relationship over here, our relationship with other people. So this frame is whole. There's 4 sides, all the angles are nice. Like, imagine if this didn't have a side. Or like, imagine the angles weren't right and you'd be like, oh, this is like a weird funhouse frame. What is happening in this photo? But it's perfect. It's like this sense of shalom. And so Adam and Eve, like, they experienced this. They had right relationships with God. Like in Genesis, it tells us that they walked around with God in the cool of the day. Like, doesn't that sound amazing? Like, sign me up for that. They had right relationships with themselves. It says, this is crazy to me, that they walked around with no shame. They're just walking around fully confident, no insecurity. It's great. Then they had a right relationship with each other. And then they had a great relationship with creation. But then Adam and Eve did what all of us do. Like, God gives us this choice of, are you gonna experience my shalom, my sense of rightness, or are you gonna make it for yourself? And they chose to try and make it on their own. They thought that they could make a better frame. And when they did, bam, bust. Okay, I thought that this would shatter. Work with me. So since then, we haven't experienced that true sense of shalom. But God had a plan for that. And that's why he sent Jesus, because he knew that we had messed everything up. And so when Jesus came, he offered the promise of shalom, and we get to be part of bringing it to the world around us. And we do that by going back to these different relationships in our lives. So our relationship with God, that starts by accepting Jesus, by believing that he died for us and we can be part of God's family when we accept him. And then that grows when we spend time with him. And then right relationships with ourselves. It starts by believing the things God says about us, believing that we are sons and daughters of the Most High. We're chosen, we're forgiven, we're called, and believing those things more than all the lies that you're telling yourself. And then right relationship with others. It means forgiving other people, especially when they don't deserve it. We do that because Jesus did it for us. We're part of God's family. And when we're part of God's family, we treat each other with love and respect and kindness. And then right relationship with creation. That means things like taking care of the earth, like recycling, not buying more than you need, because God made this beautiful world and we get to be part of taking care of it. So when Jesus brought shalom, people flourished. Everything around him flourished. And so when we're trying to bring shalom, we are copying what Jesus brought to the world. People were better because Jesus was there. And when Jesus is around, everything is this sense of shalom. And so what's it gonna look like when you bring shalom? What's it gonna look like when you decide to believe what God says about you? What's it gonna look like when you decide to love other people the way that Jesus loves them? What's it gonna look like when you take care of the world around you, when you choose to spend time with God? We can talk about it all day long. But again, until you actually go out there and try it for yourselves, you're not going to experience the full beauty of shalom. So what's it gonna look like? What's it gonna look like if you go out there and bring shalom?
Okay, so I think in order to figure out what this says, there are some dots down here that I think we need to connect.
Oh, nice.
All right. I think we might know what this says.
Missed all those dots entirely?
Shalom! Good job! Yeah.
You have no idea how much better I feel having the puzzle be completed.
Complete and whole.
Every day we can find ways to partner with God to be a part of the good work that he's bringing in the world.
You are part of God's plan.
Jesus invites us to bring shalom to ourselves, others, and the world.
If you'd like to dig in deeper to how Jesus brought shalom, get into God's Word.
Our channel has a ton of videos about how to read the Bible if you need some help.
Start there, but don't stop there.
Help complete the puzzle. Bring shalom.
And as you do, enjoy the ride.